y'all, happy Sunday. So the most often question that I get is, what is your DMO? Like, give me your daily method of operations so I can copy them and be successful in my own business. Now, I have fallen into the trap, and many other leaders have also fallen into this trap because I've seen them do it, to where we create a DMO for you to copy. And unfortunately, it just does not work like that. There is not a set of tasks that I can give you that work for me that are going to work equally as well for you. So what I can do, instead of writing up a daily method of operations for you, is I can tell you what I do, and I can give you a formula to form your own DMO. So let's get started. There are a list of trainings on the website. If I say something that you're not familiar with, or I go over a term that you're not familiar with, or maybe I don't know, allude to the free Facebook ad system or something like that, just know that on the corresponding blog, there is a whole list of terms and skills and things that you can watch specific videos for in order to get those trainings if that knowledge is not something that you already have. So you are tuning into this because you already have a product. Either you have your own small business, or you are part of a network marketing or MLM or direct sales or whatever fill in the blank business. So you are looking to either maximize your paycheck. So if you are not making at least $3,000 to $5,000 a month, that's not great money in the online marketing space, but it is not bad money. I would tune into every single training that I'm putting out because I'm giving you the exact blueprint on how I hit those numbers myself when I was new into the online space. So this is something that has been tried and true by not only myself, several members of my team, and tons of clients that I've been able to work with over the last 7 years. So these are things that you want to take to heart and implement in your business as soon as possible. Now you might say, well, Tanya, I'm brand new. I started yesterday. I don't know where to start. This is the video to start. This is the launch point when it comes to, okay, how do I build my business on social media? We're not talking about building a product. We are talking about getting your product into the hands of your target audience. Now, if you're already in the $3,000 to $5,000 space, first off, congratulations. Most people quit before they ever get to that point. Now, your goal is probably to get to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month. Now, these are the steps that you're going to still continue doing, and then you're just going to build upon them, getting a little bit better and doing a little bit more to reach those higher levels of income, as well as either hiring a team of your own or scaling your business in another way that does not directly involve your time. Now, as far as building on social media goes, we are specifically talking about getting leads. Leads are what's going to convert to sales, which obviously converts to your paycheck. So you're going to get leads one of three ways. Strictly on social media, meaning you're keeping them on social, getting them onto an email list, or running targeted social media ads. Now, I'll be honest, I don't run any ads. I never have. However, if you are somebody that wants to run ads, there are tons of good trainings out there. I would highly recommend getting some of those trainings and tuning into them. However, that's not what I'm talking about today. We're going to cover completely social media as well as email marketing when it comes to getting those leads into your inbox. Now, if you're new to this space and you might be thinking, okay, well, am I supposed to start on social media or start on email? I'm not really sure what to do. They both make money. They're both going to make you money. There are pros and cons to both. I can tell you I did strictly social media for the first 3 to 4 years of my business. Then I branched out onto an email list, and there are absolutely pros and cons to both. So we're going to go over some of those pros and cons. So let's start with social media. The pros to social media is it's free. Facebook and Instagram are where I got a ton of leads early on, and they did not cost me a penny. Completely free to be on social media today anyways. Now, 15 years from now, who knows? But I think it'll probably stay free. And then along those lines, there's unlimited leads. There are billions and millions of people on social media, so there's always new people coming on social media. The leads are pretty unlimited if you know how to tap into them. Another pro is it's super fun to build communities. It is fun to brush your shoulders with like-minded people. For me, I love talking to other homeschool moms and seeing what they're doing, getting inspiration. Again, it's just really fun to be part of a community and to build out your own community. And then the last pro that I have on here is it can lead to sponsorships and influencer marketing. So you may be starting out with your own product, or you may be starting out strictly selling someone else's product. And I'm not talking about affiliate marketing. I'm not talking about someone like paid you to go sell their product. I'm talking about an MLM where you are essentially advertising for free because you don't have followers yet. You don't have any influence whatsoever on social media. So a company is letting you advertise for them to basically get practice, and they're going to give you a very small commission when you make sales off of their products. So if you're starting out like that, it can lead to bigger and better things where you can get influencer deals. And you can have companies that'll pay you $50, $500, $5,000 to put up a certain amount of posts about their product. Something that I really like, and my daughter loves it, it's like Christmas every week at our house. We get small businesses that will send us their products to advertise for them. Not only do we get free product out of it, they also pay us to put up a post on social media and just let people know what we like about it. Now, had I not started with an MLM where I had no experience and I definitely was not being paid for my worth, I would have never learned how to do influencer marketing. So personally, there's a lot of negativity out there around MLMs. And if you don't know what an MLM is, it's any multi-level marketing company. You can go to the Better Business Bureau. You can go to the FTC and find a list of them. But Mary Kay, It Works, Melaleuca, Arbonne, Modere, Monate, there's like hundreds of them. There's a lot of negativity around them. I am not gonna sit and hate on MLMs for the simple fact that they're a really good place for people to start when they have no other experience. Now, a lot of us keep that stream of income open once we move on to having our own business. I can tell you, for me specifically, I have not touched my network marketing company for 2 years, yet I still get a paycheck every single month from them. So again, I'm not gonna hate on MLMs. There's a time and a place for them. I am just going to let you know that the MLM is probably not going to be the end-all be-all for you and your specific family. Unless you're a mass recruiter and you are building a giant team and you don't mind endlessly recruiting people into your funnel, then an MLM is usually not going to be a stopping point. It's just going to be a point along the way. Now, the cons of social media are going to be it takes a lot of time to grow your influence. If you come in like I did and you've got a couple hundred followers, it took me several years to even get past the 5,000 mark. And then when I got past the 10,000 and now I'm past the 20,000, like it was not something that happened overnight. And it's something that took a lot of time. So it was a lot of tedious tasks. There was a lot of interacting with tons of people on social media. There were tons and tons of cold messages. And by the way, you're either going to have to get really good at branding, which I have that as a con, only because it takes so much time and it is a very large skill set to learn. Now, a lot of people will look at me and if they're in a part of an MLM, they think branding is attraction marketing or like the pillars or the 5Fs. That's not branding. If they have a small business, they think branding is like, oh, I have a logo and I have a color scheme and yeah, my business is branded really well. When I talk about branding, I'm talking about specifically how you show up on social media and what your audience knows you for, and you having that audience pinpointed. If I could ask you, and in 5 seconds, you couldn't tell me who your target audience is, and then show me on your social media that you're speaking to them every single day, you are not branded, and you probably need to get branded. You can actually go up to my website, and you can click on the helpingheartshomeschool.com, click on business freebies, and then go ahead and download that free branding worksheet. So this is something that's going to walk you through the basics of learning how to brand. And then if that still doesn't do it for you, check out the BossMom Branding Bootcamp, and you can A to Z learn the ins and outs of branding and how to show up on social media in a way where the clients are raising their hand for you to come pitch to them. It's awesome. But it does take a lot of time. That's why I wrote it in the con category. It's not something that you just do and then tomorrow you're making a whole bunch of money. Usually, you start out cold messaging. Because in order to get leads from Facebook and from Instagram, you either have to have a solid brand or you have to spend a lot of time messaging and closing people one-on-one. Unfortunately, doing that ultimately will lead to burnout or company hopping if you're in an MLM and blaming it on, oh, my company was saturated and it's different over here. That's not a thing. It was probably not because you were saturated. It probably was not because nobody wanted the products, nobody wanted the business, but you got burnt out and somebody showed you something shiny on the other side and you jumped at it. And now in an attempt to cross-recruit a ton of people, you do lots of posts about how it's different over here. Sorry, not sorry. That is the blunt side of coaching people in small businesses on social media, is you see a lot of spam tactics like that. Now, what I will tell you is social media doesn't have to lead to burnout. Using it as a stepping stone will allow you to do the cold messaging, and I'm not against cold messaging, by the way. When I first started in network marketing, cold messaging is actually what allowed me to quit my full-time job, replace my full-time income, and become a paid stay-at-home mom. So I'm never going to hate on cold messaging. The only thing that I'll say about cold messaging is it's not sustainable in the long run. It absolutely leads to burnout. It leads to feelings of being on your phone 24/7. And it's just, again, it's not sustainable. So if you're using it as a stepping stone while you're building a brand, that is going to help you not burn out on social media. But still, in the long run, even if you're really well branded, social media typically is going to lead to burnout sometime if you never set up an email list, because you're going to be spending so much time closing people and pitching them because you're doing it on social media. It's one at a time. You might say, no, Tanya, if I post, dozens of people see me. Yes, and then you have to close them in your inbox one at a time, talking to them back and forth. So highly recommend getting your leads off social media so you can follow up with the click of a button. I followed up with over 400 people on Friday in less than 15 minutes. Not even possible on social media. So just to give you a little insight into what email marketing can do for your business. So on to email marketing. The pros for email marketing would be you're working smarter, not harder. That is something that I'm hugely a advocate of teaching people, especially moms. We're busy enough. We don't need to add anything else. Work smarter, not harder. Like I just said, you can follow up with everybody on your list at one time. You don't need a brand. You don't have to cold message. Now this, having an email list, can lead to very big brand deals. Because you telling someone, hey, I've got a list of, 5,000 people that have opted in on my email list, automatically tells them, hey, people want what you have. They're clearly opting in. I'm going to pay you big bucks to push my product out to your email list. And then you can have your sales on autopilot. So again, you can literally be making money while you're sleeping. I know that's something when I used to build on social media that I used to be like, oh, I made money while I was sleeping. The only money I made while I was sleeping were the people that were on auto ships. So like last month they ordered. So of course this month their order is going to rerun, and that's going to run at midnight. So technically I made money while I was sleeping. Now another way I made money while I was sleeping is because I did build a very large sales team. So if my team was up working and they made a sale and then I got commission off of it, yes, I made money while I was sleeping. But I wasn't signing my own customers while I was sleeping because there was no automated system set up. With email marketing, I routinely will get customers while I'm sleeping. I'll wake up to an email like, oh, so-and-so ordered your planner last night. So-and-so signed up for the BossMom Creator Club last night. Because what happens is I send an email early in the morning, and they may not get to it later at night while I'm sleeping, and then they're opening and like, oh, I'm going to definitely buy that at 75% off or whatever the promo is. So absolutely, you can actually make money while you're sleeping and set yourselves on autopilot. Another way that works is your blog post that you put up, which is a whole nother training. When you put up a blog post, if you have search engine optimization, then people are finding your blog that you don't even know who they are. I have strangers routinely that are not on my social media. They currently are not on my email list. They'll opt in for something, get a prompt as part of my sales funnel to upgrade to something else, and I'll make a sale from somebody who randomly found me on Google. So that's how you can automate your sales. You're not having to go and individually talk to those clients one at a time. Now, the cons of email marketing is it's not free. You do have to pay a small fee to whatever email provider that you're going to use. And that can range anywhere from like $10 a month all the way up to like $300 to $400 a month, depending on how big your email gets. Now, I will tell you, once it passes a certain amount, it's because you're making a ton of money off of those names. So I wouldn't worry about it. I sweated a little bit when I got up to the $60 a month mark. I was like, ooh, do I want to pay for this? And then realized real quick that I absolutely wanted to pay for it because I was making way more money coming back to me. Now, in the beginning, when I only had an email list of like 500, it was free. So that was really cool. And I was used to social media being free. So just my money mindset around paying like a provider wasn't super healthy. So when I had to start paying an email provider and paying for certain things, it just kind of scared me a little bit because I hadn't done it before. But I will tell you, it's definitely worth it. But that is on my con list because I totally understand in the beginning, you may not have any money to get started with something like this. So social media may be the only option that you have. And that is totally fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with starting at the bottom. I would say social media is definitely the bottom, and then email marketing is way above it. However, we all start somewhere. I started on social media. A lot of people start in social media, or they start with email and they have no one on their list. So they're working at building their list for 6 months to a year before they ever make a dime of money. So don't let anyone fool you into thinking that you're going to start today and be a millionaire tomorrow, because that's not how it happens. If you're honestly looking to build a legit business, it's going to be something that you've got to work at for a little bit. Another con, in my opinion, to email marketing is that there's a learning curve. Now, it might not be a con to you. I'm not super techie. I'm not techie at all, actually. Not super, not at all. So if you're not techie like I am, then it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and that can be frustrating. But again, it's well worth it. Now, a con that I put on here that honestly is a pro for me, but I know a lot of people it's going to be a con for, is you've got to learn how to create lead magnets and freebie funnels. I enjoyed it. It gave me a creative outlet. However, if you don't enjoy that kind of stuff, you may need to suck it up, get it done now, and then set a game plan in place to hire someone to do your lead magnets and your freebie funnels down the road when you have a little bit more income. That is something that I do for a lot of my clients, is I create their lead magnets for them. So I make the lead magnet. All they have to do is go plug it into their email or plug it into their social media and start collecting the leads. So you might need to find somebody who is not only good at making them, but actually enjoys making them, pay them to do it for you. That's absolutely a service that a lot of us will offer our clients as we're working with them. And then the last count I have on here is it does take a little bit to build your list. So to start off, if you're already on social media, which most of you are, or you wouldn't be watching this video, you can use social media to start building your list. And at the bottom of this blog, there's actually a tutorial. It's called the 8 steps of the freebie funnel or something like that, that shows you how to take your social media contacts and get them onto your email list. So what I personally like to do is tap into different summits. I love to speak at them. Some of them I don't speak at, but in exchange for me advertising the summit, then I get to put my freebie in their swag bag. And so their list that they are marketing the summit to has access to download my freebie in exchange for giving me their email. So I really like that way of getting leads. But in the beginning, I didn't have that option. No one was wanting me to speak at their conferences or be an affiliate because I didn't have a proven track record yet. So you may need to start in social media and then work your way up from there. So as I already mentioned, there's not a wrong or right way to start. What do you want to do? If you don't mind cold messaging people and pitching their product, and by the way, just so we're clear on what a cold message is, because this gets muddled a lot. First off, I come from the sales world. A true cold message is messaging someone who is not on your contact list. You're basically taking out the yellow pages and messaging them. So a true cold message on social media would be messaging someone who you don't follow, they don't follow you, and you are not friends with on Facebook. That would be a true cold message. Now, in network marketing speak, a cold message is actually messaging anyone who did not raise their hand and ask you to pitch them. So I'm going to give you a couple examples because I get cold messaged on the regular. The first example is just the cut and dry messaging. Say, hey, so-and-so, I saw your profile. I really love it. I think you'd be perfect at what I do. Would you like more info? That is a hard, cold message. They do the same things about products. Hey, so-and-so, I really love, your daughter's gorgeous. I think you guys really benefit from this product that I have. Would you be interested in being a product tester? Those are like cut and dry cold messages. Now, some of the sneakier ways that people cold message, because they want to be able to say, oh, I don't cold message. Ma'am, sit down. Yes, you do. Cold messaging, repeat it after me. You are pitching anybody who did not ask you to pitch them. So if you come in my inbox, striking up a fake conversation, there's a cute little way that goes around right now that basically teaches, go into their stories and you're going to respond to a couple of their stories. You're going to do that for a few days. Then you're going to pitch them your product or your business. That's still a cold message. You are messaging someone that has not asked you to pitch them and you are pitching them. All you're doing is creating a little bit of a fake relationship before you pitch them. Another example is I had a Melaleuca girl do this to me recently. She had messaged me about something to do, not Melaleuca, something that was in my stories. We had a little bit of a conversation. I told her how I really love to swim. We were at the pool a lot. And then I just happened to say something about just kidding, not Melaleuca, Monate girl. That's what it was, a Monate chick. I just happened to say something how since relocating from Chicago to South Carolina, my hair's gotten kind of wonky. So I have been trying different things. Hard pitched me the shampoo. And then even after I told her, like, I've already used it, I had really bad experience with Monate, like, no thank you. Oh, well, you may not have used the right one. I have an opportunity call. Have you ever thought of making money? It was just like one after the other. And I'm not anti-Monate. It didn't work for me. It is what it is. Not all products work for everybody. But the hard, like, sales pitching, that's a little bit of a turnoff. It's super, super spammy. And I've had every single company do it to me. So I'm not singling out Monate. That's just the one that did it the most recent. But I just wanted to give you an overview. All of those would be considered cold messages. So if you don't mind cold messaging, whether you do it directly, whether you're building like fake relationships, fake conversations first, there's someone right outside the window staring at me, and I probably look like an idiot to them because I'm just like talking to a ring light. That's okay. But anyways, if you don't mind doing all of that messaging and like one-on-one interaction and trying to really pitch people, social media is a good start for you. And I'll be honest, I didn't mind it at all. I did not mind going out and like fishing for 100 hours a week. But if you are someone and you really want to put that creative hat on and one, work smarter, not harder, you don't mind a little bit of a learning curve and you want to start like creating your own stuff, email marketing is the place to go. So again, what do you want to do? The only warning I'll give is if you are brand new and you already feel like you're a little overwhelmed, like maybe you joined a network marketing company and you're like, oh, I don't know, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, I don't really know what to do. Or maybe you have your own product that's a physical product and so you're not looking to really create digital products right now, then I would start on social media, because setting up landing pages, doing all the email marketing stuff, figuring out how to get leads onto your list can be a little bit overwhelming if you are brand new and you don't have a very big skill set yet. So just to throw that in there, I can tell you had someone come to me when I was 9 months, even probably up to 2 years into the business, and started talking to me about email marketing and, making email lists and making landing pages. And here's how you make digital stuff. I would have been like, ooh, deer in headlights, no thank you. Like, I am good to go on what I'm doing. I'm overwhelmed as it is. I'm not trying to add anything else onto my plate. That would be my response. So I'm speaking to you. If that is your response and you're like, ooh, I don't want to do any of that, stick to social media. Get yourself a really good brand. If you have not signed up for one of my social media audits yet, highly recommend doing it. You can go up to the Work With Me tab on my website, scroll all the way down to the social media audit. There's one you can actually watch that I just did with a Networks distributor. So you can go over and kind of see some of the stuff I told her. And then if you're like, hey, I would say my page is not 100% because you can look at my grading system. What would you change? Then you're welcome to fill out the application. I will get back to you. Typically, it can take up to about 14 days, just depending on how many I have to do that week, but I can definitely get back to you and help you set up your social media in a way where clients are attracted to you, customers, distributors, whatever you're looking at getting.